dads. This is Dad Space, podcast for dads by dads. And Father's Day weekend is coming up. So get ready for all those ties, socks, and underwear that tells you we love you by the clothes that we give you. The hand-drawn pictures that you can put on the fridge until next Father's Day. Father's Day weekend's coming up. Happy Father's Day from Dad Space. Here's another episode for you. Hope you enjoy. To all the dads out there, happy Father's Day. We're so proud of you. This is Dad Space. Welcome. So Dad Space is live and we're excited. We've already had one interview down already. Episode 1, I believe it is a great podcast episode. Leadership and masculinity. We're definitely going to have him back again because he really did bring a lot of great information, a lot of knowledge, and some laughs. I love it. It was a great episode. So we'll definitely have him back for a part 2, which will be a lot of fun. Today, I just kind of want to talk to you about Father's Day weekend, kind of my thoughts as we go into this weekend, as we set aside time on Father's Day to celebrate our dads. For me, a little bit about my backstory. I have 3 grown children. My wife and I are empty nesters. I have boy, girl, boy are the 3, and they're off on their adventures in life. They've left all their crap behind, and we are a museum to our kids and all of the things that they've collected throughout their life. Every Christmas present, birthday present, memento and memory is all over the place. And Jen and I, my wife Jen and I are at this stage where we're like, well, what do we do? Like, with all this stuff. There's just so much stuff. So we're at that point where we're trying to figure this all out. But as I go into Father's Day weekend, it's different for us. I think this year than almost any other year we can think of that, we have an empty nest. We don't have the busyness, the noise, the clutter. Well, we have the clutter. We don't have the activities, the traffic. We don't have to move 3 cars to get our car out of the driveway. We don't have kids invading our fridge, kids sleeping on the floors, and late night movies and all that stuff. The joy, the laughter, the yelling, the slamming of doors, all that stuff it's pretty quiet around here. And I guess looking back at my father career over the last 20 plus years with my kids, there's a lot of great things that stir up memories and great smiles on my face and gladness in my heart when I look back at some of the great things that have happened. There's also times, to be quite honest, when I know I could have been a better dad. I could have done something differently. I could have said a better thing at a better time. And there wasn't, again, we talked about this in the intro for the podcast, there wasn't really a resource like this, an audible resource that I could listen to on my own time and pull out things that I could apply in my own family. So that's kind of the reason why Dad Space exists. We want to be able to have a spot for great guests to come in and share. We want to share tips and tools and resources, experts, and just having dads on the podcast to share their story, their journey. Because you might be a dad with, like an infant, a 2-year-old, and then you might be a dad listening with a 18-year-old. You might be a dad like me when your kids are gone. A grandfather, a stepdad. You might be a great foster parent and bringing children into your life and into your home and offering safety and security to kids that haven't had that. This podcast is designed to help all dads, all different stages, so that we can grow together. And I'd love you to join our community too over on Instagram, Facebook, Dad Space Podcast. You can find us everywhere. And we will have dadspace.ca coming up as our website. And there we're going to have tips and stuff for dads. We're even toying with the idea of having like a dad community off of social media, because if I create a dad Facebook group, there's too many distractions there on Facebook for you to dive in and build life with other dads. So we're looking at building something where dads can join together, be accountable to each other, encourage each other, and focus on growing as a dad for the sake of ourselves, for our spouse, our partner, our children, our families, the world in general. And there's some great episodes coming up. There's an episode coming up, a very personal episode coming up here on Dad Space. And it's with Jillian Abbey. And I'm not going to spoil it here, but you'll see this in your updates for the podcast coming up. There'll be a 2-part interview with Jillian Abbey. And we get into some father-daughter and father-child conversations. And it's a pretty intense podcast. And I hope that as a parent, you can listen to this podcast that's coming up with Jillian Abbey in a week or so, and you'll be able to identify. And if not identify, become an ally and supporter and help and find your role in this. And it's a pretty important podcast to me personally, and I'm really happy to share it with you, and for you to be able to share it with others. So Dad Space, again, a podcast designed for dads by dads. We want it to be fun. You're going to see on our social media, we're going to be posting dad jokes because, hey, we're all about the dad jokes around here. And it's fun to be able to connect with people on social platforms. But this right here, you listening to a podcast and adding us to your day is spectacular. We don't take it lightly. I don't take it lightly. I'm thankful for every listen. I'm thankful for every interaction. And I'm hoping that, again, that this podcast will add value to your day. I would love content from you. I'd like suggestions. Maybe there's somebody that you would love to hear from in a podcast interview. Maybe you know somebody. Maybe you're an expert. Maybe you have something to offer to the audience. Reach out. Reach out through any of our social media. You can contact us. And let's get in touch with you. Let's get you on the podcast. Let's get your content on the podcast. Let's help as many dads as we can. Father's Day weekend, everybody. 2022 is just around the corner. Happy Father's Day to everyone that's listening. For me, my dad is long past, and I miss him on this weekend every year. It never gets easy. I miss the phone calls. You'll see on our socials, posted a little clip. And I miss looking down on my phone and seeing my dad's name, or just dad, calling. Those days I thought would never end, and they did. And as a dad without a dad, it's very hard when you don't have that experience to back you up, that support, that love, bounce questions off of. And that's what I'm hoping this podcast will be. So if you need a dad hug this weekend, if you're missing your dad, I'm giving you a virtual podcast dad hug right now. Let's stick together, guys. As fathers, as parents, whoever is listening right now, let's stick together. Let's build bridges between us, and let's tear down anything that would keep us from loving more people in our life. We only have one shot at this, guys. You only have one shot at raising those kids one day, just like me, looking around. The only thing that's left is their stuff. And they've moved on in their lives. It can be lonely. The day is coming, guys, and it comes fast. Make every moment count. This is Father's Day weekend. Enjoy it. Soak it in. Take time for yourself. Give yourself some grace. Shut everything down. Accept this podcast. And enjoy having time for yourself. Time for your family. Give love. Don't hold it back. This is Dad Space, a podcast just for you. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that this brings you joy in your life and challenges you at the same time. Dad Space, a podcast designed just for you. Thanks for listening. Do you love the music? It's got jazzy. Dad Space, everyone. We're going to go enjoy this music. Let this music just play. Enjoy it. And the next episode will just start right after this. It's kind of how that works. Hit that favorite button. Add us to your favorites so that you get updates every time we upload a new podcast episode. Don't miss a single episode of Dad Space. Don't do that to yourself. Cheers. Thank you for listening. Happy Father's Day to you from Dad Space.